Are you kidding me? They hid his entire family for years? Over $20? Figure that out. We're trying to figure that out. Hopefully, we will see. The bullets. Bro, why is his story my most watched thing? Like, that doesn't make any sense, bro. I'm so confused. What's his most popular video? POV, you're a hitman and the target is your son. Chat, what even is his story? I'm confused. They make shorts? He tapped back?
My twin brother Chris and I were 9 when we learned Morse code. We tapped messages under the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident and the doctor said he'd never wake up, I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. Are you there? Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. See you tomorrow, Chris. A week later, Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost fell out of my chair. I grabbed a nurse and she barely looked up. They're reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this?" Until he taps back. He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son. I don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's organs. But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die and scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short. SOS. I grabbed his hand. Chris, if that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told
Is this a real story, chat? Is this real?
them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, "This is very common with families who aren't ready to let go." My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. You're not signing anything until you come see for yourself.
All right, anyway, chat, do I watch the shorts or should I watch like the long videos? Which one should I watch? Which one do I watch? The videos, chat, or like the shorts? Watch the shorts? Okay, I'll watch the shorts. Okay. Everybody say hi, YouTube, in the chat. 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 Okay, hold on. Okay. Hello, YouTube. All right. So, all right. So there's this tab on YouTube that says channels your audience watches. And at the very top of this list is this guy named His Story. And I have literally never seen one of their videos. I've never heard of them in my entire life. So today we will be delving into the lore of someone named His Story. This random person that I've never heard of before.
The flight.
Let's watch one of their videos. What? Hold on.
The flight attendant.
All right. So this is one of their videos. I don't really understand.
The flight attendant slipped me a
Why
napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me in the back to talk." I knew she chose to tell me because of the military dog tags around my neck. I folded the napkin and slid it into my pocket. And that's when the captain's voice came over the intercom. "Good morning, folks. This is Captain Hopkins, expecting smooth skies to Chicago, but..."
Chat, why does he low-key kind of look like Kalis, though? It's like Zach D Films, right? It's kind of like Zach D Films.
Something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. I waited 2 minutes and casually walked to the back, not knowing what to expect. The flight attendant was there with a man holding up a police badge. The man whispered, "I'm glad you're here. I'm an undercover cop." I knew something was wrong straight away. The flight attendant whispered, "I've flown with Captain Hopkins for 6 years. I don't exactly know what's wrong, but I know that's not Hopkins, and we're flying the wrong way." She showed me the flight map of where we were heading. The plane is heading toward an abandoned airport. I leaned over the map. My body was pumping with adrenaline because it was the perfect place to crash a plane. There's an empty space above the pilot's room. I can climb up and listen to what the pilot and co-pilot are planning through the ceiling. Take my number. If you can tell there's something fishy going on, text.
So are the pilot and the co-pilot about a crash? So does this guy post like stories about stuff? I'm confused. It's like Zach D Films? What? This is insane. It's like really good.
Me one word. Now. That's the signal to move. And to distract everyone while I climbed above the ceiling, the flight attendant made an announcement on the speakers to tell everyone to keep their seatbelts on. Through the cracks, I could hear 2 men in the pilot's room talking. 15 years ago today, our brother died because of Captain Hopkins. Now we get to crash his plane with him tied up on it while we impersonate him. I texted the undercover cop. Now, the cart slammed into the pilot's room door, and the cop kicked it open. I dropped through the ceiling and tackled the fake pilot out of his seat. The cop pinned the co-pilot to the floor. The flight attendant grabbed the radio. Mayday!
Wait, is this a true story? Read the description? Wait, is the plane gonna crash? This story may be based on real events, but all names, details, and identifying information have been changed or fictionalized. Any resemblance to real individuals is purely coincidental. What? So it might actually be real? So we don't know if it's real, but it might be?
Hey, our pilot is gone. We need help landing right now. She looked at me. Find Hopkins, the actual pilot. He has to be on this plane somewhere.
She kinda bad?
I sprinted to the back of the plane, checking every door. I yanked open the closet next to the bathrooms, and Captain Hopkins was inside with his hands tied and tape across his mouth. I ripped the tape off. "Get me to the controls." He ran to the front and dropped into the pilot's chair. He grabbed the wheel. "Tower, this is the real Captain Hopkins. I'm landing this plane." When we finally landed, the cops dragged the brothers off in handcuffs. The flight attendant came up to me in the aisle. I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and held it up. "You saved 200 lives with this."
my
She
God.
smiled and took it back.
Wait, that's the end of it already? Bro, I feel like the ending wasn't... It didn't like... Wait, this is crazy. Hold on, we have to watch another one, chat. We have to watch another one. What's the next one? G-O... This one's called GOAT.
Every time...
Dude, these are addicting. Wait, how often does this guy post?
Every time we...
These are insanely addicting. They're entirely fictional. They're not real.
Every time we heard a knock on the front door, my dad would yell, "Stealth mode," and we had 30 seconds to kill every light in the house. My brother and I would race through the rooms, flipping switches, yanking cords, shutting off the TV mid-show, while some guy outside banged on the front door yelling, "I know you're in there, buddy." Dad timed us. Once everything was dark, no talking, no moving, no looking out the windows. We'd sit there until Dad did his owl hoot, which meant all clear. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes almost an hour. Afterwards, he'd high-five us and go, "Real ninjas couldn't do better." He told us stealth mode was top secret. Never tell your teachers, your friends, nobody. Other people...
Why? Bro, I have so many questions right now. I have so many questions. I'm not gonna lie. It's like Zach D Films, but better. I feel like it's better than Zach D Films. Who agrees with me? It ain't bad, right? It's like literally better than Zach D Films, right? Like a lot better. Dang.
wouldn't understand. For years, I believed him. When I was 8, I asked Dad why we had to hide so much. He said some annoying guy kept bothering our family, and stealth mode was how we dealt with him. I felt proud we had a secret skill that could outsmart bad guys. By the time I was 10, I heard the voice outside yell something about a bet and $20. I tugged Dad's sleeve and whispered, "Is the bad guy trying to steal our money?" Dad shushed me so hard I flinched. When I was 12, I broke the window rule, peeked through the blinds, and saw a completely normal guy in a polo shirt standing on the porch rubbing his forehead. He didn't look like a criminal. He looked like someone's tired.
He looked like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Are you kidding me? Look at him. That's literally the guy from Moana. That's literally the guy from the live-action Moana film. Tell me that's not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Zach D Films, when it comes to making up questions that won't be used in the real world. Low-key true. Zach makes the best fictional stories. Nah, Chad, I think these are better. I can't even lie. Like, I can't even, like, look away from this. I don't even want to stop watching it. It's so addicting.
Uncle. At 13, I told Dad I was just going to open the door and tell the guy to leave us alone. The color left his face. You absolutely cannot do that. That was the first time stealth mode didn't feel like a game. By 15 or 16, it barely happened anymore. But when it did, Dad would peek through the blinds looking guilty. Mom just shook her head from the couch and muttered something under her breath. I was 17 and home alone when I heard it. I know you're in there. It's been 12 years, man. I opened the front door. The guy nearly fell backwards. Normal looking dude, middle-aged, holding a crumpled piece of paper. Oh, hi. Is your dad home?
Do you think it's AI generated, chat?
I'm his old college roommate. He held up the paper. Your old man bet me $20 Michael Jordan wouldn't win his 6th ring. That was 1998. I've been knocking on this door ever since. He handed me the IOU, both their signatures, right there at the bottom. I left it on the kitchen table. Mom saw it first and laughed so hard she had to hold the counter. Dad picked it up, read it, put it back down, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "So now he knows someone's home." Then he turned off the kitchen light and got under the table. We were never in danger. My dad just lost a bet because...
Are you kidding me? They hid his entire family for years? Over $20? Okay, you might have been right, chat. These stories cannot possibly be true. His story, when it comes to making a story that is definitely not true. What? Chat, it's crazy that more of you watch this channel than I Show Speed and Zach D Films. Oh my god, he makes like these long stories too that I kind of want to watch. Oh my god. All right, my costume was too real.
I became my school's hero.
All right, let's watch this one.
I became my school's hero.
I became my school's hero. They're all like really long too. They're 2 minutes. Wow.
I became my school's hero for 1 minute before everyone watched what happened next. I don't play around when it comes to Halloween, so during our school's Halloween dance, I dressed up in real firefighter gear from my dad's closet. Real jacket, real boots, real helmet. I strutted around the gym like I owned the place, until the fog machine popped like a toaster and the fire alarm went off. Everyone cheered thinking it was part of the show until I smelled burnt plastic. Teachers started waving their arms, telling everyone to stay calm, but I noticed the orange extension cord powering the machine didn't stop at the wall. It ran out the side doors and down the hallway toward the science wing. Then someone near the door yelled, "Smoke in the hallway," and teachers started shouting for everyone to evacuate. Real sirens started wailing outside and fire trucks pulled up. The crowd poured into the parking lot while firefighters rushed through the main doors. That's when one of them spotted me standing near the entrance in full gear. "You, with us," he shouted. "We're clearing the east wing." I opened my mouth to say I'm just a student, but he shoved a flashlight into my hand and pushed me forward. The hallway was dark and filled.
This little kid was dressed up as a firefighter. And you're telling me a grown-ass firefighter picked him up and made him go actually fight the fire? Yeah, right! Do all of them say in the description that they're not true? This story may be based on real events, but all names, details, and identifying information. Yeah. So literally, yeah, right. If this is true, I will get my cheeks out live on stream and I will put them in Fulton's face. Yeah, right. Stop pausing the video, you mountain. Okay. So, you don't want me to react to it? You want me to sit in the corner and be silent? Is that what you want?
Filled with smoke.
I don't understand.
The orange cord past
What's the point of
until it
reacting?
disappeared under Mrs. Carter's classroom door. One of the firefighters reached for the handle and jerked back. "Hot," he said, then looked at me. "Hit it!" But I only had my foam axe. I swung as hard as I could and it bounced off with a pathetic squeak. The firefighter
Bro, he doesn't even have a mask on. Why would they be letting him?
grabbed it, swung himself, and the foam bent in half. He stared at it, muttered, "These damn budget cuts," and tossed it aside. That's when someone shouted from down the hall and he waved to the others. "Forget this door. We'll circle back once we've got tools." They started heading back down the hall, but then I heard it. A squeaky wheel spinning frantically. This was Mrs. Carter's room, and the class pet Mr. Nibbles was still in.
Okay. No way bro risks his life for Mr. Nibbles. Are we serious right now? Bro is going back inside of a burning building for Mr. Nibbles? Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, sure!
Side. I turned back to the door. The handle was glowing red. I wrapped my jacket sleeve around my arm and threw.
Mr. Nibbles is about to turn into Mr. Stew. if you know what I mean.
Threw my shoulder into the bottom panel until it cracked open. Smoke poured out and choked me instantly. The hamster cage was on the counter,
Oh,
and
it's a
tiny
hamster.
flames were eating the papers around
I thought it was a
grabbed
rabbit.
the melted cord with my sleeve and yanked it from the wall. A spark bit through the fabric straight into my skin, and I screamed, but kept pulling until the plug came loose. I grabbed the cage with my smoking sleeve, and the metal seared into my palm. I could smell my skin burning. My lungs felt like they were filled with glass, and my vision was going black around the edges, but I ran. When I
have a genuine question. I know I keep pausing it, but this question came to my mind and I need to ask you guys. Would you go into a burning building to save your hamster? If it meant you were going to risk your life, would you risk your life for a hamster? Dude, I also saw Joe Bartolozzi ask this very interesting question. How much poop would you need to have in a milkshake before you realize that there's poop in your milkshake? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%? It's a very interesting question. I think his story should make a video about that because genuinely, if your milkshake was 10% poop, you wouldn't know. Think about it. I don't know. Same with like chocolate. Same with like any type of food. You wouldn't know that there's poop in it. 1%? I don't know. It's just it's an age-old question.
Burst through the side door. I collapsed face first onto the concrete and threw Mr. Nibbles onto the grass so I wouldn't crush him.
Bro, these
I could hear
stories are
cheering as
insane.
hands grabbed me and someone pulled off my helmet. A firefighter was staring down at me. "Kid, you're a hero." That's when I heard the scream. I turned my head and watched a hawk swoop down, grab Mr. Nibbles
Oh, chat.
in its talons, and fly away.
Bro, this is like one of the stories that the kindergarten kids tell each other when you're a kid and you just tell the craziest lies ever. This is literally one of those stories. It's like, yeah, my dad is Bill Gates. Aw story. It's literally like one of those stories. Okay, I want to watch this. I watched the first
My
part
twin
of it.
brother Chris and I
Okay, this one has to be fake. Like, tell me this one's fake. This literally has to be fake.
My twin brother Chris and I
It's got to be fake, right, chat?
were 9 when we learned Morse code. We tapped messages under the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident and the doctor said he'd never wake up, I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. "Are you there?" Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. "See you tomorrow, Chris." A week later, Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost fell out of my chair. I grabbed a nurse and she barely looked up.
Did you watch this already? I only watched half of it.
Reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this?" "Until he taps back." "He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse." Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. "We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son." "I don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's organs."
Wait, that's so sad though. Please tell, wait. There's no way it's real. There's no way it's real. Is it actually? Look up her story. Bro, no way they got a girl version of this. They have a girl version of this? Seriously?
But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die and scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short. SOS. I grabbed his hand. "Chris, if that's you, squeeze once." He squeezed so hard my knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, "This is very common with families who aren't ready to let go." My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. "You're not signing anything until you come see for yourself." I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. "Ask him anything." The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes. His mother's name, tapped out letter by letter. By the 10th question, she said, "He's still alive. We can't move him." Weeks later, I asked Chris what kept him fighting when everyone gave up. Heard Mom call me a corpse. Heard Dad say donate my organs. Heard all of them leave, except you. I asked why. I wanted to see you too.
Oh my God, that was adorable. Go to part 2? Wait, he tapped back part 2? He tapped back part 2. Wait, there is a part 2.
The second my mom pulled up to my
Oh my God, there is a part 2. Wait, is that actually him? His YT story? Yeah, it is. I didn't know there was a part 2. Let me see the part 2. Bro, chat, how do y'all know this guy?
The second my mom pulled
Wait, this guy's like low-key really good. Oh my god, wait, I'm gonna subscribe to him. I want to see what part 2 is.
up to my school, I saw she was mad, and as soon as I opened the car door, she held up my report card. Are you kidding me? Not a single A on here. I tried to tell her I was sorry. I tried my best. She threw it at me. Maybe if you didn't stay up all night tapping that dumb secret code on your brother's wall, you'd actually be able to focus. I felt my heart beating. I pulled out my phone to text my brother. Mom's really mad. I think she might, but she grabbed it from my hand. Always on this stupid phone too. I could see her face turning red, but when I looked forward, Mom, watch out. She saw the car too and screamed. It smashed right into us. Glass was everywhere, and I hit my head. I didn't know where I was. I tried to open my eyes, but nothing was moving. Then
Stop pausing. Car accident? Yeah, he's dead, bro. She deserved it? What? For taking his phone? Oh my god, bro. Oh, it's the brother's POV. Oh.
I heard someone. Listen, kid, he's never gonna wake up. No, please, he has to. It was my brother. I tried moving my hands, screaming. Nothing worked. But then, someone tapped my hand. I instantly recognized it. Chris, are you there? I squeezed my hand as hard as I could, but it didn't move. But he stood up. See you tomorrow, Chris. I felt a tear roll down my cheek. Someone else came in. We should just pull the plug. I'm not paying for a vegetable. We'll get more money from donating anyways. It was my mom. She was talking about selling me, but
The mom is evil! Oh my god, I thought you guys were mad at the mom because she took away his phone. I was like, holy crap, you guys are iPad kids. But it all makes sense now. Wait, the mom wanted to sell his organs.
was still here. Jay came back, tapping about his day. I knew I had to warn him. I squeezed my arm. It felt like concrete. Please, anything. They'll kill me. Then it twitched. He gasped. He ran out to grab them. That's just a reflex. No, it's him. You're talking to a corpse. That night, I heard my mom. He's gone. We need to pull the plug. I tried to move. Then, my shoulder twitched. My dad screamed. He moved. They were silent. If he wakes up, we get nothing. We need to get that paperwork signed. They ran out, and I knew I didn't have long. I felt someone tap my hand again. Chris, please wake up. They're gonna kill you. I squeezed. I needed a miracle. Then, my fingers moved. I said the first thing I thought of. SOS. Chris, I knew it. He instantly ran out of the room. Guys, he's awake. He's awake. They rushed in. I squeezed their hands. They saw it all. I heard my mom. He's still alive. We can't move him.
Bro, the mom is terrible.
But I knew what she said. That night, I tapped it all out to my brother as he wrote it down. He couldn't believe it. Then, when I finally opened my eyes, they gasped. My mom hugged me. Honey, you're alive. But I didn't hug her back. The doors opened behind them, and when the cops walked in, my parents looked nervous. What's going on? Can we help you? They were pissed. They slammed them both in handcuffs, and when they looked, Jake was holding up everything I said. I could barely move my arm, but
Bro, these are the stories. These are literally like the stories when you're in first grade and you're talking to the other kids in class. It's like, yeah, I have an alligator in my house. Oh, really? I have an elephant in my house. Oh, yeah, really? Well, my dad's the president. That's what this story is, bro. I bet to get ideas for his story, he goes to like a bunch of first graders and asks them to tell him a story. That's what he does. Look at her story. Bro, that is not a real person. Who is her story? What? Oh my. Who the heck is her
This
story?
boy was trolling on the dark web.
Who is her? Bro, you're telling me we got a her story before GTA?
This boy was
We got a her story before GTA 6. We got a her story too?
trolling on the dark web when her sister noticed he slammed his laptop shut. He was shivering, and she knew something was wrong. Scared, he immediately ran to the living room. She yelled, "What happened?" But he wouldn't say anything. He started freaking out, closing all of their blinds, locking the front door, and she begged him to tell her what was going on. He was freaking out, and that's when she opened his
Thank you for the
laptop.
6
She
months,
couldn't
Caleb.
believe it. Someone sent him a picture of their front door. They sent another picture, and when she clicked on it, it was a picture of her through their window that said, "She looks tasty." She couldn't breathe. She was about
Chat, do you think that the same person who made his story made her story too? Was it the same person, you think, chat? Same person?
to run and grab their dad, but her brother grabbed her arm saying, "No, he'll kill me if he knew I was on there." Neither of them slept that night until someone rang the doorbell the next morning. A guy with a badge told their dad they saw some suspicious activity coming from their network, but he told him he didn't know anything about it. He told them to stay safe. But the next day in class, her principal burst through their door. She told her she had to come with her that second and that the police were there, and she followed her to the office thinking it had to be her brother. But the second she walked in, she saw the same guy from yesterday holding his badge. He smiled when he saw her and told her there was an emergency at her house. He grabbed her arm and tried to pull her out, but she resisted. "No, tell me what happened. Is my brother okay?" But he didn't say anything. "Come with us." She didn't want to, but her principal nodded and said, "They're police officers, honey. Go with them." They took her outside, but she noticed their car didn't have any police stickers on it. She thought these guys—
Fake police. Fake police. Fake police are gonna kidnap her. Fake police are gonna kidnap her. Bro is breathing out loud. Bro, I bet the cop is the one taking the pictures.
must just be undercover.
Must be,
but when
right?
they put her in the back, she immediately noticed there weren't any door handles either. There was no
Has to
way
be.
she could get out. "Where are we going?" But they laughed. She was sweating now. "Please, I just want to see my brother." But they didn't say anything until they saw flashing lights behind them. Both of the guys immediately got nervous, and when she realized it was the police, she knew this was her chance. The cop was walking up to the car, and she was about to scream for help.
Why is a cop walking like that, bro?
But just before she did, she felt something sharp in her stomach. She looked down and saw the man holding a knife against her. The cop walked up and looked inside the car, and when he saw her crying, he looked suspicious. She tried anything she could to signal for help, but the man said, "That's just my niece. She's upset because we didn't get McDonald's." She couldn't say anything.
They're dressed as fake police officers. What do you mean? How would the cop not know that? The cop looks like you? Because he's bald? I don't get it. I don't get it.
The knife was already cutting her skin, and the cop just told them to have a good day. She was crying, but they drove off. She accepted her life was over. She wasn't ever gonna see her family again until they started arguing. "He saw our faces, man. If we kill her, they're gonna know it was us." So in that moment, they opened the door and threw her out, and she had to run back with her hands tied.
That was it? That's the whole story? Wait, let me look at another one of her. Wait, there's a part 2 to the cop one.
I was walking alone at night.
What is with all the cops and the creepy dudes?
I was walking alone at night when a police officer started walking beside me and grabbed my arm. "Don't react and keep walking. Someone's following you." I subtly turned around and saw a man in a dark hood 30 feet behind me, matching my pace. I stopped for
Nope, I'm gonna call it right now. The cop is the bad guy. I'm calling it right now. Cop is the bad guy.
a second, and
I'm
he
saying
instantly
it.
leaned against the wall, trying to seem discreet. The officer told me to stay calm and walk with him. He guided me forward, gripping my arms so tight I couldn't pull away even if I wanted to. I kept glancing back, and the man was now closer. That's when he walked through a streetlight, and the light shined down on something metallic sticking from his pocket. My whole body went cold. I pressed closer to the officer and told him what I saw. He nodded and said, "Don't worry, we'll get you home. You're safe with me." But then he started steering us away from the lit-up main road and onto a darker sidewalk, almost like he was leading me somewhere specific. That, plus his grip on my arm, made me feel uneasy. But when I turned around, the man was now walking straight at me, holding the metallic object, and no longer trying to be discreet. I knew I had no choice but to trust the officer. I
Bro, they're gonna kill her, bro. The cop's gonna kill her.
told him the man was
It's the
closer,
cop.
and he
The
looked
cop's a
around,
bad
pointing
guy, I'm
to an
telling you.
alleyway nearby. This cuts through to the other side of the street. You can call a cab from there. He gripped my arm even tighter and pulled me. I was about to just go with it, but then I saw a taxi sitting 50 feet in front of me with its light on. I told the officer I'll just take this one, but his grip tightened. The man is still too close and the alleyway is safer. He tried pulling me again, but I yanked my arm free and sprinted toward the cab. He reached for me again, but I was too far away. I got in and locked the door, shaking and unsure what to even think. Then 3 weeks later, I was watching the morning news, and my coffee slipped out of my hands. 2 men were arrested for the murder of a woman. The officer who grabbed my
They were gonna kill her! Oh my god, is this one real? Wait, what does it say in the description? This story may be based on real events, but all names, details, and identifying information have been changed. Oh my god.
arm and the man in the hood. They worked together. The man followed her at night, and the officer lured her into an alleyway under the guise of safety. The woman who trusted the officer never came home to her kids.
What the? Okay, hold on. Let's go back to my story. I labeled it fish?
My teacher looked at my drawing.
What the heck could this possibly be about? Yo, chat, I'm gonna guess the plot of this one, okay? Ready?
My teacher.
Chat, I'm gonna guess the plot of this video, okay? He is going to Um, dude, to be honest, chat, I have no idea. His drawings come to life?
Looked at my drawing, covered her mouth, and ran out of the room screaming. Our assignment was to draw something that makes us happy, so I drew me and my dad fishing at the lake, something we do every Saturday. I picked up my paper
Oh my god, I bet his dad is dead. I'm calling it right now. I bet his dad is dead.
to see what she saw. 2 stick figures, a fishing rod, a lake, a building that said Larry's Bait and Tackle, and a fish that I even labeled fish in case there was any confusion. I had no idea what I did wrong. She came back with 2 security guards, still screaming, grabbed my drawing off my desk, and pointed at me like I was dangerous. They walked me out without saying a word and sat me down in Principal Carter's office. He had my drawing under a desk lamp like he was examining a ransom note. He looked up. Explain this. I told him it's me and my dad fishing at the lake. He pointed at my stick
I don't get it. What's so crazy about it? His dad is a bad guy? Okay, so I was kind of right.
figure's hand.
Sorta.
You're telling me this is a fishing rod when I'm looking at a weapon. I told him there's a line coming off it with a fish on the end, and I literally wrote the word fish next to it. Mrs. Keller leaned in. It looks like he's aiming at the building. I told her it's Larry's Bait and Tackle where we buy
I don't
worms,
get it.
and he's facing the water because that's where fish live and that's how fishing works. I didn't understand how every adult in the room was looking at a fish and seeing a threat. Principal Carter picked up his phone and called my dad. Mr. Davis, your son drew an image that appears to depict a school shooting. We need you here immediately.
A school shooting? It's a fish! How could it be a school shooting? It's literally a fish. I don't get it. Explain how it's a shooter. It's a fucking fish!
I sat there staring at my drawing, wondering how I ended up here. My dad showed up still in his work shirt with dirt on his hands and stopped in the doorway. Where is he? What did he draw? Principal Carter slid the drawing across the desk, and my dad picked it up, stared at it, and laughed. Not a chuckle, a full laugh. This is from last Saturday. He pulled out his phone, turned it around, and the photo was right there. Me standing in front of Larry's Bait and Tackle holding my fishing rod. Same building, same rod, same everything. He looked at the principal. Is everyone in this room slow? My son drew a fish, labeled it fish, drew a fishing rod, drew a bait shop, and you looked at that and saw a school shooting. Nobody said anything. You pulled my son out of class and called me at work because not one adult in this building stopped and said,
I don't get it.
hey, maybe that's a fishing rod. Mrs. Keller stared at the floor, and Principal Carter had nothing. My dad put the drawing in his pocket. We're done here. Let's go. Next art class, I drew Mrs. Keller and labeled it donkey in case there was any confusion.
Called his teacher a donkey. It's the dad's fishing pole. It looked like a weapon. Wait, let me go back to it. I don't get it.
Something we do every
Bro, it literally didn't even look like a... Wait, okay, it kind of did though.
Saturday. I picked up my paper to see.
Okay, it doesn't even look like he's holding a gun though. It says fish on... I don't get it, bro. That story makes no sense to me. I mean, not that any of these make sense, but her teacher gave her an F for being right. His teacher's son did what? Let me see this.
In the middle of a test.
His teacher's son did what?
In the middle of a test, the
Like, okay.
sprinklers started spraying. Everyone instantly screamed, "Ah!" But I realized it wasn't water spraying on us. Someone yelled, "What is this? What is on us?" We all tried to stand up and run, but everyone was slipping. The alarm blared, and the principal yelled on the speaker, "Everyone needs to get out of the building immediately. There is an active threat inside." But just before we could get out, our teacher stepped in the way. He said, "Wait, I think I just saw the threat out there." But the hall was empty. "There's nobody out there. Let us out." I tried to grab the handle, but he slapped my hand.
Dude, chat, I can't believe I never found this channel before. It's actually so good. I kind of love it. Oh my god. I kind of love it. I kind of love this channel.
No, nobody's leaving. Everyone was coughing, and that's when I realized I liked the smell. Oh my god, it was gasoline. Half the class rushed over to the windows, but we couldn't just jump out because we were on the 3rd floor. Stacy yelled, "Please, let us out. We have to make a run for it." But he just stood there. He just said, 30 more seconds. Everyone was confused. What? We need to go. We'll die from the...
Yo, is he having the za or something? Why is his eyes so red? Is bro having some za? I don't get it. I don't get it, chat. Bro's having some za? Bro's having some zaza?
the fumes, but he just smiled.
It's also on
20.
TikTok?
What if a fire starts? We'll all burn. 10 seconds. A girl yelled, "Ah, it's in my eyes. I can't see." It was complete chaos until our teacher reached for the lock. He turned it. The door clicked open and someone walked in. "Thanks for letting me in, Dad." Stacy yelled, "Dad, you have a son." They both turned around, locking eyes straight onto me. We all started backing up, and when I saw the guy's face, my
That guy looks like Sid from Toy Story. Sorry.
heart sank. I recognized him. He pointed straight at me and said, You put me in jail for 5 years. Now it's finally time to get revenge." I couldn't believe my eyes. This was the same guy I had called the police on 5 years ago. He had tried to rob my grandma at gunpoint and had been waiting to get me back. We watched him pull something out of his pocket and hold it up, and we saw it was a Bic lighter. Everyone started panicking because one tiny flame and we'd all immediately burn. I yelled, "No, please, you'll kill us all." He just smiled. He started flicking and we all yelled, "Stop, please, we'll all die." He flicked over and over, and I knew I had to stop him before it worked. "Please, my grandma was all I had. I didn't mean to make you suffer." And when I said that, I saw our teacher look at me, but he looked upset. We were all crying, and I saw him really looking at his son like he didn't know who he was. Flick, flick. Then finally, it caught a flame. He held it up, but I saw our teacher pick up the fire extinguisher from the wall. I knew there was no way that tiny thing would save us from the fire, but his
Bro, just break the window and break your legs. Like, would you rather be dead or have broken legs? I don't get it. Literally jump out the window. If you have the option, chat, to either explode or jump out the window and break your legs, obviously you're going to jump out the window and break your legs. Like, you're not going to die from 3 stories, right? You're not going to die if you get to 3. There's no way. You're fine. You're literally fine.
son said, "This is for what you did, for putting me in prison with those diddlers. Say goodbye." But right before he dropped the lighter, our teacher raised the fire extinguisher, and in one moment, he slammed it down on his son's head hard.
diddler.
His son instantly fell over, and our teacher stood there panting. He was crying. "I'm so sorry. I failed all of you. My son was a monster." The police ran in and grabbed him, and he looked at me one more time with tears in his eyes as they took him out.
Oh my God. All right, I'll watch one more of these. Grandma's recipe. This guy's
After
in...
8
Hold on. I want to watch this guy, one about a prisoner. Bro, these are addicting.
After 8
Chat, I could sit here and watch this for like the next 5 hours. I'm not going to lie to you.
After 8 years on death row, I was ready to die. They said I
He
killed
deserved
Rebecca.
it.
My fingerprints were on the knife. My blood was at the scene. I told them I didn't do it, but nobody believed me. I spent years fighting, filed every appeal, exposed every contradiction in the evidence. None of it mattered. My lawyer stopped returning my calls. My appeals were exhausted. My family stopped visiting 2 years ago. Even my own mother thought I did it. The only person who ever believed me was my grandmother, and she passed away 5 years ago. So when they asked what I wanted for my last meal, I thought of her. Her meatloaf, the one she made me every birthday. I wrote out her recipe from memory. Every measurement and technique.
Bro, chat, I have a question for you. If you were in jail for a crime you didn't commit for 30 years, and then you get out of jail, what is the first thing that you would do? You would be gone for 30 straight years for a crime you didn't commit. What's the very first thing that you would ever do, chat? What would you do? What would you do? Steak, what would you do? I would get a cheeseburger. I would go to In-N-Out and I would get a cheeseburger. Meet my family. Okay, well, I would probably do that first and then get a cheeseburger.
Precise. An
That's
hour
what I
later,
mean,
the
bro.
prison chef showed up at my cell.
Bro, some dumbass in the chat just said steal money. All right, bro, you're going right back in there then. Like, what a dumbass. What do you mean steal money?
My form. What is this? Meatloaf. This is a novel, not a recipe. Ground beef 60%, ground pork 40, breadcrumbs soaked in whole milk for exactly 10 minutes. Yellow onion, not white, sautéed in butter until translucent. Fresh thyme, not dried. Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons, no substitutes. And this glaze with brown sugar and apple cider vinegar, brushed on at 340 degrees, 20 minutes before done. He looked at me through the bars. Why so specific? It's how my grandmother made it. She's gone now. If I'm going to die Friday, I want to taste her cooking one last time. He was quiet for a moment. Some of these
Wait, why is he going to die on Friday?
ingredients we don't stock. Fresh thyme, whole milk, real butter. I'll have to special order them. I have 48 hours. He sighed. I'll make it exactly how you wrote it. Thursday morning, the ingredients arrived and the chef started cooking. I could smell it from my cell an hour later.
Wait, what if he used a recipe to escape?
Onions sautéing in butter. Grandma's kitchen. Saturday mornings. Her humming while she cooked. I sat on my bunk and cried for the first time in 8 years. Thursday afternoon, the chef ran into problems. The oven temperature wouldn't hold steady. He had to recalibrate. Start over on the glaze twice. It has to be perfect. perfect, he told the warden. It's his last meal. Thursday night, I couldn't sleep. Not from fear, from the smell. The meatloaf baking through the night while I sat alone with memories of the only person who believed I was innocent. Friday, execution day. 10 a.m. and no meal yet. Noon, and the chef said the glaze wasn't right. 2 p.m. a guard brought regular prison lunch because the meatloaf still wasn't ready. 4 p.m. 2 hours left. The smell was overwhelming. Guards kept walking past the kitchen just to breathe it in. 5 p.m. the warden came to my cell. Your meal isn't ready. We're delaying the execution 2 hours. 6 p.m. came and went. The original
Oh my God, he gave him a super hard recipe so that his thing gets delayed. His execution gets delayed because then he's not going to be able to make the recipe.
Original execution time. I was still alive, waiting for meatloaf. 7:30. The chef finally appeared with a covered plate. He looked exhausted. He uncovered it, and the meatloaf looked exactly like my grandmother's. I ate slowly, savored every bite.
Meatloaf is nasty, Chad. I can't even lie, bro. Meatloaf is disgusting. If you like meatloaf, you are a psychopath.
Perfect. I finished the last bite at 7:51. 9 minutes left. The guard opened my cell. Time to go, Preston. They walked me down the hallway past other cells. Inmates were silent. They always were during execution walks. We reached the preparation room. The chaplain asked if I wanted to pray. I said no. 7:55. 5 minutes. They started walking me toward the chamber. That's when the warden's phone rang. He answered and his face changed. Stop. Everyone stop moving. What's happening? Rebecca's...
Oh my God. Wait, so he made him get all the ingredients so that he would survive the execution because he knew the warden was going to get a call?
Ex-boyfriend just confessed to her murder. You're innocent. My legs gave out. A guard caught me. The chef appeared in the hallway out of breath. He slid down the wall and sat next to me. If that meatloaf had been ready on time, you'd already be gone. I just sat there, still alive. Because my grandmother's recipe was too complicated to rush. She saved my life. She always did.
Wow. All right, bro. Well, Chad, that was my first time ever watching his story. Make sure to go subscribe to them and check them out. I've been wanting to watch them for quite a while. I didn't realize they're literally better than Zach D Films, bro. iPhone 17 giveaway every million subs. Okay. Yeah, right on that. All right, smash like if you love turtles and cheese and who here loves bacon? Smash like if you love bacon and subscribe. All right, I'm gonna go. I really love cheese. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream, chat. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. I don't know if I'll be live later. I might. We'll see. Bye.